They came from the void like carrion descending upon a wounded animal. The Zathari Dominion, a predatory empire spanning hundreds of star systems, had finally cast their gaze upon Earth's fledgling colonies. To them, humanity was a young race, bold, curious, but naive. A species still learning its place among the stars. When their warships fell upon Kestrel 9, humanity's newest agricultural colony, the Zathari did not come with negotiations or ultimatums. They came with fire. The orbital defense grid was young, its fleet still in construction. The Zathari struck without warning, without declaration. They bombarded the surface with plasma lances, reducing cities to glowing craters. Farmlands meant to feed generations of settlers were scorched into blackened wastelands. They took no prisoners. On the colony's capital square, a Zathari commander broadcast a message across every channel. This world belongs to the Dominion. Your species is weak. Submit and be forgotten, or resist and be erased. Their fleets pulled away hours later, leaving behind nothing but ash, drifting hulks, and millions of dead. The invaders did not linger. They did not fear reprisal. They believed Earth incapable of response. The arrogance of the victors, the Dominion celebrated their victory across the stars. Their admirals toasted in orbiting palaces carved from the cores of shattered worlds. Their soldiers boasted of massacring hairless bipeds who thought themselves ready for interstellar life. Among the Dominion Council, the attack was discussed with laughter. Humans? Hissed a counselor. They are children. They cannot strike back. At most, they will send complaints to the neutral trade guilds, beg for reparations. They have no empire. No fleets to match ours. Another joined in, mockery dripping from every word. They clutch at ideals, mercy, law, diplomacy. They lack the spine for war. They will mourn, and then they will forget. Their little colonies will bend or break. And so, confident in their superiority, the Dominion spread word of their conquest. They broadcast the burning of Kestrel 9 across neutral space as warning. This is the fate of those who stand in our way. They expected fear, submission, silence. What they received was silence of another kind. For weeks, Earth said nothing. No envoys sent. No pleas for arbitration. No promises of vengeance. Only silence. The Dominion mistook this quiet for weakness. They had not yet learned what human silence meant. The silence breaks. It began like a tremor before a storm. Faint signals rippling across the void. Encrypted transmissions that no Dominion spy could break. Old trade lanes suddenly closed, rerouted. Merchant vessels flagged. Terran vanished from open space, as if swallowed by shadows. Neutral worlds whispered of strange sightings. Masses of ships moving in formation. Their insignia blackened, hulls devoid of light. Entire fleets traveling under silent drives, unseen until they wanted to be. Then came the first message, broadcast not from Earth, but from a nameless relay station at the edge of Dominion space. A single voice, cold and steady. You sought war. You sought blood. You will have both. The transmission ended with coordinates, those of the Zathari fleet that had burned Kestrel 9. When the Dominion dispatched scouts to verify, they found only wreckage, hulks torn open, warships ripped apart, their crews drifting in frozen silence. The entire fleet, 200 strong, destroyed without survivors. Panic spread through the council chambers. How? When? Who could have done this? And then, from the edge of human space, the storm arrived. The unveiling of Earth's wrath. From the darkness emerged fleets unlike anything the Dominion had seen. Vast dreadnoughts, their hulls plated in obsidian alloys that drank in the starlight. Carriers the size of cities, launching wings of gunmetal fighters that swarmed like living storms. Warships older than Dominion memory, now reborn and reforged. For centuries, humanity had cultivated an image of caution. Traders, explorers, diplomats. But beneath that face lay something else. The patience of a predator. While the galaxy dismissed them as young and tame, Earth had been building, watching, preparing. And now, their silence was broken. The human fleet spoke with action, not words. They crossed the border into Dominion space without declaration. They did not negotiate. They did not threaten. They came as executioners, entire star systems lit with the fury of their arrival. Planetary shields cracked under coordinated bombardments. Dominion fleets scrambled to mount a defense. But every counterstrike fell into traps, ambushes meticulously laid. Battles fought on human terms. Every transmission captured from the Terran command ships carried the same message, repeated in a dozen languages. There will be no mercy. Fire without end, the Dominion called upon allies, demanded support from vassals. None came. Neutral powers, once cautious, sealed their borders. No one wished to draw humanity's gaze. For the first time in millennia, the Dominion stood alone. Humanity's vengeance was absolute. They struck not only at fleets, but at the heart of the Dominion. Industrial hubs burned, orbital shipyards cracked apart, world after world fell beneath relentless bombardment. Human soldiers descended like steel-clad wraiths, their boots shaking the earth as they advanced. They took no slaves, no tribute, no plunder. Only silence followed them, broken by the thunder of bombardments and the screams of the dying. The Dominion begged for diplomacy. Admirals broadcast pleas across every channel. "We yield. We will pay reparations. We will return your colonies. Spare us." But the human fleets did not answer. When Dominion warships powered down, hoping to surrender, the Terrans annihilated them regardless. When planetary governors offered tribute, the humans turned their cities to ash. They were not waging war for conquest. They were delivering judgment. One Dominion counselor, in desperation, sent a personal envoy to the human flagship. The envoy's ship was reduced to atoms before it crossed the perimeter line. There was no bargaining. There was no parley. Humanity's vengeance was not the kind that could be bought. The fall of the Dominionate was not swift. Vengeance never is. For 3 long years the storm raged. World by world the Dominion crumbled. Their empire, built on centuries of fear, was broken piece by piece. Their proudest fleets, the Scythe Armada, the Burning Wings, the Crimson Host, each erased from existence, their names remembered only as lists of casualties. The Zathari's pleas grew more desperate. "Spare the civilians. Spare our young. Spare our culture, our history." But mercy was the one thing humanity did not bring. When the Terran fleets finally reached the Dominion's capital, there was no grand battle, no final defense. Their fleets were gone, their armies shattered. The once proud jewel of their empire lay defenseless. Human dreadnoughts took orbit. From above, they unleashed fire that turned oceans to steam, continents to glass. Billions perished in a single night. The Dominion homeworld was erased. Not conquered, not occupied, but erased, as though it had never existed. The message was clear. Humanity does not forgive. Humanity does not forget. Whispers in the silence. When the fires dimmed, silence returned. The Terran fleets did not linger. They did not claim territory or plant flags upon the ruins. They turned in eerie unison and withdrew back into the black. The galaxy watched as the storm receded, leaving only ashes in its wake. No treaties were signed. No proclamations made. The Dominion was gone, utterly destroyed, as though it had never been, and in the void that followed, the galaxy learned fear. On neutral worlds, in trading posts and shadowed cantinas, whispers spread, "Never provoke Earth, never draw their gaze. Their patience is vast, but their vengeance is infinite." The image of humanity had changed forever. No longer were they dismissed as young, tame, or naive. They were the species that had waited in silence, and when wronged, had risen as executioners. The Zathari Dominion had wanted mercy, but mercy never came. And across the stars, every race, every empire, every being who heard the tale carried the same thought in the quiet of their minds. If ever Earth is wronged again, God help us all.